I have placed Brazilian Ronaldo back into Football Manager, starting his career in 2022, giving him a chance to relive his career, which was unfortunately hampered by a lot of terrible injuries, and maybe partying a little bit too much. So to help him avoid the same future, I have given him 24 professionalism as well as the lowest injury proneness possible. I want the Ronaldo that got a well-deserved standing ovation at Old Trafford, and I have also given him great determination to succeed and started him off at 90 current ability, of course with that 200 potential. And I pulled all of his attributes from the Mad Scientist Retro database, based upon the 1998 when Ronaldo was in his prime years. So I've got my R9 Retro Barcelona shirt on, we've got him placed at Cruzeiro. Let's see what happens. And remember, I'm not going to control him, we just holiday to simulate his career. Now, he actually makes his debut at 15 years old, so we can see here playing for Cruzeiro, he's already made 2 appearances off the bench. Nothing substantial just yet, but I think it's well worth noticing. And also, I've actually got rid of all of his international caps, so we've got a clean slate so we can actually see how he performs for Brazil, starting straight from the off. But it was not a good year for Cruzeiro, who was relegated into the 3rd division. And Ronaldo was already a starter at 16, but is asking to leave the club. And by the following season, he has moved to a new club. Still in Brazil, he found a move to Atlético Paranaense for 775k, where he's already scored 8 goals in 16 games, and this is in Brazil's top division too, by the way. But a 5th place finish was as high as Ronaldo could take them in his first season at the club. And the young Brazilian bagged a total of 25 goals in the top division alone. And at age 18, he already has 3 caps for Brazil with 2 goals. But then the inevitable move happened. So during the 2026 season, he moved to Barcelona. And we can see here at the end of the 2027 season, the end of the European calendar of football. Oh my god, he looks incredible. So we already have pretty much a prime Ronaldo. He is at 184 current ability. He is playing in Barcelona as he did in real life, of course, and he is scoring a lot of goals. So 17 goals in 32 appearances in his first season in La Liga, and only an £18.5 million move. An absolute steal, I think you'd definitely agree. And Barcelona, unfortunately, did not win the league. Real Madrid are on an absolute rampage right now, winning 6 back-to-back titles. And Barcelona are some way off, 3 points behind. They're going to need Ronaldo to keep getting better and better. And that's exactly what he did, reaching his maximum potential in just 1 more season, becoming the best player in the world at just age 20. But Xavi is still in charge at Barcelona, and they are struggling, because they finished in 3rd place, 13 points off of Real Madrid, and Ronaldo wasn't even the top 3 of the Golden Boot. And Ronaldo is still without any major trophies. He even lost in the Copa Libertadores final in 2025. Xavi even sold Pedri to PSG for £146 million. And spent only £36 million of that, including James Ward-Prowse on a free transfer. And although Ronaldo won the Golden Boot with 29 goals, Barcelona still only finished in 3rd place, 29 points behind Real Madrid, who only lost 1 game. And PSG have now become interested in signing R9. He finally won a trophy, though it was for Brazil, as they beat Peru 3-2 in the Copa America final, where Ronaldo bagged a hat-trick. And Ronaldo's 4th season at Barcelona didn't go as planned either. He did win the Ballon d'Or in 2029 though, aged just 21. But Barcelona still couldn't get close to Real Madrid. However, it was the World Cup summer. But Brazil lost in the 3rd place playoff. The World Cup was held in Spain, and Brazil lost in the semi-final to Uruguay at the Santiago Bernabeu, who went on to face France in the final and lost 3-0. Again at the Bernabeu. So maybe it's time for a change for Ronaldo, who is once again wanted by PSG. But no, Ronaldo stayed put and stayed behind Real Madrid, who now have won 9 in a row. And it's his former teammate Zinedine Zidane who's managing his rivals, as well as beating them in the Copa del Rey final too, which they have actually done in the last 3 seasons. Surely it's time to pack your bags and leave. Nope, he stayed put once again at Barcelona. 29 league goals this season alone. 2nd place in the league, of course, behind Real Madrid. Although it is closer, just to 4 points. That's 10 in a row now, I think. But, again, they've lost in the final 4 years in a row to Real Madrid every single time. I also haven't mentioned what they've been doing in the Champions League. It's not been good either. Quarter-final. They got to a semi-final and lost to Porto. Another quarter-final, round of 16, and that's all the years that he's been at the club. But, I mean, what is happening there? That's really, really bad. And if you take a look at who's been winning it, Porto actually won it the year that they eliminated Barcelona in the final. Porto, who I don't have the Portuguese league loaded. They went on and won the Champions League. Another year of Ronaldo at Barcelona, wanted by PSG but staying put. And another year finishing in second place behind Real Madrid. And guess what? Another year of losing in the Copa del Rey final to Real Madrid. Like, you just cannot write it. How are they doing this every single season? That's 5 years in a row they've lost in the final. He did, however, win another Copa America, probably because Real Madrid can't qualify for that one. Domestically, though, nothing changes for Ronaldo. Are the odds for this happening? I don't know. Barcelona finished in third place, behind Atletico, behind Real Madrid. But guess what? They lost in the Copa del Rey final to Real Madrid for the 6th season in a row, which is, yeah. And they also got eliminated by Real Madrid in the Champions League as well. The game after, the game before the Copa del Rey final, they lost to Real Madrid and was knocked out 6-0 on aggregate. The one bit of hope that I got is he's got 1 year left on his contract, so maybe he moves once that deal is up. And thankfully, the following season, we got what we wanted. He's leaving, he's transferring, but he's going to Manchester City. Now, Barcelona won the league. So he finally actually won La Liga, which is very fitting. He finally did it. So we've actually got the best of both worlds here. We were bored of watching him lose all the time to Real Madrid. He finally wins La Liga. Did they win the Copa del Rey as well? No, they lost to Atletico in the semi-final, which is a very big shame. And they lost to Tottenham in the Champions League round of 16. Awful. But they did go and win La Liga. Very special moment, only by a point. And Ronaldo definitely helped them get there with 26 goals. So fantastic stuff. Zidane is still there. Xavi is still in charge of Barcelona. And he's finally managed to win a league with Ronaldo. But he is moving to Manchester City now because his deal is about to end. He has already agreed a transfer. And Manchester City desperately need him. They don't even have a manager right now because they finished in 6th place. That still is a Champions League spot for Manchester City because even down in 6th place. And we can see that Tottenham have actually been winning the Premier League here. So it's all going on in England, Newcastle as well. Aston Villa won the Premier League in 2027. Where are they now? They're in 4th. It's been absolutely wild in this weird and wacky database. But Manchester City, with Erling Haaland, even though he is age 34, will be partnered with R9 Ronaldo next season. And that's exciting. Man City then hired Xabi Alonso as their manager from Real Sociedad. And he dragged them up to a 2nd place finish behind Liverpool. So no trophies in his first season in Manchester. But he did win a 2nd Ballon d'Or, however. And after winning yet another Copa America for Brazil, his next season, age 29, was probably his best. They're Premier League winners. They've done it. Manchester City, we're under Xabi Alonso as well. Ronaldo is Premier League winners. And it gets even better. They also beat Liverpool on penalties in the final of the FA Cup. That's fantastic. Liverpool bounced back the following year, however, but City did win the Carabao Cup. He then broke his toe just before the World Cup and missed the whole tournament, and Brazil were eliminated in the 3rd round by England. And Ronaldo and City slumped down to a 3rd place finish. But 2039, Ronaldo did something he never could do in real life. Lifting the Champions League. Crazy considering the teams he played in. He is up there as one of the best ever to never win the competition in my opinion. But he's done it in this simulation. The following season he finally drops off from the 200 current ability mark, age 32. And it's another trophyless season for the Brazilian. But I have a feeling that's all about to change. He's changed clubs again. And we're at PSG, the club that's wanted him for quite a long time. he has finally moved to France. So I think he should be winning the French league quite often. Now, he is still looking amazing. He is 33, however, and we can see 197. So he's staying up there. The move was £149 million, and that's very much unlike PSG to spend that much money for a 32-year-old, I think he would have been at the time, because he's had a full season in France. Only played 24 games, though. Got 15 goals in those 24 games, which is very good, and a very good average rating. What he has won, I mean, of course, he won the Ligue 1 Championship. He did not win the Coupe de France, though. Did surprise me, I must admit. So it must mean that, I mean, PSG's manager is Mikel Arteta, which is quite funny, to be fair. If you look at their schedule, they were knocked out of the Champions League by Aston Villa. I know. And the Coupe de France, they were knocked out by Lyon. Hilariously, the Champions League was won by the club he just left against the club he also played for in Spain. The following season, we're starting to see the decline of R9. He's gone down to 190 current ability, age 34. Obviously, that's still amazing, but still. Again, they didn't win much. They only won the French league. They did not win the Champions League this season either. If you take a look at the schedule, they actually lost to Wolfsburg, so I'm not quite sure what's happening here, and that was in the quarter-final. Aston Villa once again got to the semi-final, which that's 2 years in a row that they've managed to do that. In both seasons, they've got to the semi-final. The last season, they lost to Man City. This season, again, they went through but lost to Bayern, and it was Bayern-Real Madrid who played in the final. Final was won by Real Madrid. And now at age 35, we are really starting to see the decline of Ronaldo in regards to his pace, etc. He might be getting a little bit smarter, but his pace has dropped down to a 13 there. Of course, that was like a 19 when he started off. He's down to 180 current ability, as we'd expect, I guess. I think he's still playing for Brazil as well. He's played 142 caps. He's got 113 goals. And they have finally won the Coupe de France. They managed to do that this season. They beat Lorient after 3 years without it. But again, no Champions League. So a league title, obviously the Coupe de France. In the Champions League, they were knocked out by Atletico. So I'm quite intrigued by this in the round of 16. It's so weird that they're losing to teams that I definitely would expect to be beating them, and Atletico actually went on and won the Champions League. Age 36, he dropped down to 170 current ability and only won the league, still scoring 16 goals that season. But in 2045, age 37, Ronaldo calls it time on his second chance. Something he did in a very emotional way in his first career from Corinthians in 2011. Which is something he did age 35, obviously in the Brazilian league, far from how good he used to be. And even at the times when he was at AC Milan, down in this part of his career where he only actually played 20 games, it wasn't great, was it? In 20 games in like 2 seasons, it wasn't the Ronaldo that we know and love. I think he had a very bad spell, to be fair, in regards to fitness. He moved for like £5 million, never really did much. So I think we've actually done him justice. We've given him the career that he deserved. Finally, we can take a look at everything he won, because he eventually won the Coupe de France and the Ligue 1 in his final year as well. Fantastic for him. He's won so many different accolades, including... he has won, of course, more than one Ballon d'Or, which he did do in real life. I'll give him that. But he has won it multiple times here. 1, 2, 3 times, with the last being while he was at Manchester City. So Ronaldo, fantastic player. One of my all-time favourite players to watch. Finishes his career with 157 caps for Brazil, 120 goals. I think he played over 90 games for Brazil in real life, so we've even beat that as well. Maybe he didn't have as many trophies as what I anticipated, but, I mean, he did win the Champions League, something that he could never do in real life, and he went for £149 million, which in today's money probably would happen if Ronaldo was around, and he had better fitness and less partying. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you check out this video where myself and my dad take over Porto and Benfica, and we batten it out against each other in a 5-year rebuild. You cannot miss this one.